Hey guys, welcome back. This is the part 2 for the firewall evasion with the Nmap. And in this video, we are going to see the other techniques of evading a firewall with the Nmap. So in the previous video, we see the fragmentation of the packets. We see how we can use the maximum transmission unit, and we see how we can spoof our source IP address by using the decoy. Now in this video, the first part, I'm going to start with spoofing the source port. It is easy. And before going to the lab, this warning is always for you. This video and its content are only for educational purpose. I do not support any unethical or illegal act. That being said, let's jump to the lab. So what happened? A lot of time I faced this many times. Sometimes uh, while configuring the network firewall or edge firewall, sometimes what happened, administrator leave few ports out of the inspection, or sometimes firewall comes with default configuration in which firewall does not inspect the specific ports traffic like DNS 53, DHCP 67, port number 20, these ports. Okay, so a hacker can scan the network using source port spoofing. So nmap space hyphen hyphen help, and I want to grep source hyphen port. So you can see this. You can use hyphen small g, or you can use this and you can specify the port number then. So here, let's see. I'm going to spoof my port number, but before spoofing my port number, I want to show you something. This is the last scan. So I want to show you, okay, this is the source address and this is the target address. So this is source IP, this is destination IP. This is the packet length. Okay, this is the length, and this is the source port number, and this is the destination port number. It means we are scanning this target port 8080 having my own port number, means the source port number 35764. So okay, and you can see 35,764, 35,764, and all these packets I'm sending with the same source port. Destination ports are changing because I'm scanning, suppose that port number 21. If the port is open, we get something, we get some response, or we do not get some response, but we got the final response whether the port is closed or open, and we move to another port. So every time the destination port is going to change, but the source port is same every time. And maybe in the inspection, firewall detection rule will be like this, that if the source port, uh, instead of port number 53, port number 67, because these are genuine port, and sometimes it do not needs inspection, because DNS request coming from anywhere, and in your network many people are there and they are accessing internet, they are sending the DNS request. Okay, and there is any DHCP server, whether from your router or you have the dedicated DHCP server. So every time any client start his PC or phone or connect with internet, it needs uh, 67 and 68 port open. So sometime on the firewalls, we leave these ports, and this is the huge issue. So firewall will detect this port and drop the packets, and you will get the false positive result. So to evade this kind of filtration or filter rules of the firewall, what you can do, you can change your source port as a genuine port. So I can say nmap space hyphen p or hyphen capital F, then hyphen hyphen source hyphen urt port, and I'm going to use 53, and then my target IP is going to be this. right? And as you can see here, my source port is 35,764. Now I'm going to start it again and send it. So once we send, you will find that the source port is still same. We all the requests have source port 53, but not 37,000 or something. And if the rules on the firewall to filter the traffic according to the source port, and in those ports, if 53 is not included or 53 is in the whitelist, so you are gonna get success in your scanning results. That's what my purpose to show you. Fine. You can also use small g, but most of the time I forget these single character arguments, so no problem. Fine. Let's see. So if you see closely that wherever you send the sync flag in the TCP header, you will find that the length of that is 58. Everywhere you send the sync packet or sync flag, you will find the length is 58, 58, 58, 58. Okay. And you see that once you send the reset flag, your length is different. That is 54, 54, 54. So if there is any filtration or detection rule inside firewall, which detects you with the packet inspection on the basis of the packet length, so you can alter your packet length also. Fine. So if you alter your packet length, maybe firewall let you pass. And how we will do this is gonna be nmap space hyphen capital F, and I'm gonna say uh, data. No, it should be small data. Data length, yeah, this one. Okay, so nmap space hyphen n hyphen data length, and to show you just I wanna put a big value here, and this value is in bytes. So what you have before is 58 bytes when you send the sync packet, right? So if I put 50 more bytes and if I add 50 more bytes in that, so it should be 108, right? Okay, and just put the target IP 10.101, and let's start it again and hit enter, and you can see here this is the packet you need. So you can see here we are sending the sync flag in the TCP header, and the length is 108, right? But another thing I want to show you, if you scroll down, mm, down, so you will find many things like, okay, so as you can see here, telnet data, configuration data, okay, and continuation data, because you are adding more bytes, okay, continuation data, and somewhere here you will find, yeah, the request. This data is not actually authentic data. Any data by sending a request or pinging or any data, it could be any data, but it is uh, assigned or selected by the nmap. Okay, so you can see this version information. I don't know which version it is looking for. So okay, TCP segment of reassemble PDU. Okay, so as much data you add, as more noisy this nmap scan is gonna be. So, and you must need to take care of it that your scan should not be noisy. As less as noisy you can make it. You just need to evade the firewall rule, so you can do something better than that. Instead of adding more bytes, okay, you can just add 2 bytes. So before it was 58, when we add 50 it becomes 108. Now if we just add 8 bytes, so it should be 66. Let's hit enter, and you can see wherever you send the sync flag, it data length is 66. And go down here, you see this data, not like before, a huge amount of strings you find with the gibberish characters, right? But here no, and a lot of data was there, continuation and the telnet data. But here you see this is not that noisy, right? Fine, that's better. So this is another technique by just manipulating the length of the TCP segment which you send with the sync flag. So last but not least, there is another technique where same like decoy technique where you spoof your IP. With the same example, there is a server, web server or something like that, and there are few developers. Only those developers computers can access that web server, and the traffic filtering rule applied on the firewall based on the MAC addresses. So only those MAC addresses can access the web server. So at that time you can scan nmap space hyphen what it was, I think spoof MAC, spoof, yeah, spoof MAC. So you need to use this. So nmap space hyphen f. I'm not going to scan everything. First of all, to just show you, and one more thing I want to show you here, ifconfig and eth0. I want to show you my MAC address. So where is it? Yeah, this is my MAC address, right? And if you go in the previous scans, data link layer, you will find that this is the source address, means my MAC address. And this time I'm going to spoof my MAC address to the any of those developer, you can say, MAC address is hyphen spoof hyphen MAC. So you can spoof MAC address based on this rule. So you can specify a manual MAC address. You can just add the prefix and rest of the things will be added by the nmap, or you can just spoof your MAC address with any of MAC address list in the nmap database. So like you can put your MAC address as a Dell machine, you can change your or spoof your MAC address as HP machine, as Apple machine, like that. So right now, as you can see, my source MAC address, it is detecting as VMware, and because I am running this machine on VMware. But if I say okay, spoof my MAC address with anything or any series of the Dell, and the target IP is going to be 192.168.10.101, right? So I'm going to start it again and just hit enter. So we got the result, and as you can see, we need to first, okay, stop this. We need to choose the packet, like you can choose it. You can see here there is ARP request. ARP request for Dell EMC. Dell EMC servers are there, but okay, I need to find out only TCP. TCP. So sync flag which we are sending, this is my IP address, right? If my IP address is as source, so my MAC address must be as source. So the source MAC address is, you can see, Dell EMC, and this is the MAC address of the Dell EMC series. Before it was VMware. So same like that, you can specify any MAC address manually. MAC address should be like 1A colon 22 colon 3B like that, or 00 something like this. Okay, you can manually add that MAC address, and it is of 771A like this. So let's add this. I'm going to just copy this and nmap, and instead of Dell I'm going to specify this MAC address, and I'm going to come here, start it again, hit enter, go to the, this is the packet, go to the source address, and you can see 1A223B007. This one. Okay, so we can spoof MAC address also. So I think that's enough for this video, but before packing up, I just want to show you how you can use multiple techniques in one scan. So let's see, nmap space hyphen capital F, and I want to use the MTU 16, not default is 8, but I'm not gonna use 8, I want to use 16. Then I want to also randomize, spoof my IP address with random value 2, okay, or make it 3. And I also wanna fragment, no, we already use MTU, uh, spoof your MAC address also, so hyphen spoof hyphen MAC, okay, and this is gonna be, I'm saying any MAC address from the Apple series, and I also want to change the source port, that is hyphen G, and I want to use this time 67, fine, and sorry, that's it. Another thing we can use to add the data, but you must take care of it. If you are using fragmentation or maximum transmission unit, then you add the data simultaneously, you will not get the same result. If you are not using MTU and you increase the length of the data by 2 bytes or 4 bytes, then you will get the correct result. So you can use it, but I'm just telling you about after fragmentation. Once you see the result, you will see, okay, here it's 58, so if we add 4 bytes more, it should be 62, but because you fragment the packet, you will not find 62, right? So right now I'm just going to use these simultaneously, and I'm going to clear this again and start again. Just hit enter, we got result, we come here, stop this, and we will analyze everything. The first thing we add is maximum transmission unit is 16, so choose wait a moment, I'm choosing filtering the TCP, that's why I cannot see IP packets, so remove the filter, and as you can see there is fragmentation, packet fragmentation is there, and you can see the data is 16 bytes. Another we use is decoy method with 3 random IP addresses. So as you can see, this is the first random IP address, this is the second random IP address, and this is the third random IP address, and again it will follow the same sequence, right? Third thing we use, uh, we spoofed actually our MAC address with any of the Apple series MAC address. So with the same packet you choose here, go to the source MAC address, you will see Apple BC BC3D. This is the series of Apple MAC addresses. So our MAC address is also spoofed. Another thing we use the we spoof the source port. So instead of, because by default if you scan, so the scan or Nmap is not gonna scan with standard source port. Like Nmap is not going to scan the destination or the target with port number 80 or with port number 443 or with port number 67. No, it will always choose some non-standard port, uh, 37,000 something, 25,000 something. So no, we choose the port. Which port we choose? 67. So uh, all the request going to the target must be 67. So as you can see, 67 with the source port 67, you are scanning or sending the sync packet on the port number 22. So this, the source port will always be same, but the destination port will always change. But the only thing here, because in the firewall rule, if this port is allowed, because this belongs to DHCP, so firewall let your traffic pass. Okay, fine. Another thing, if you want data length, so uh, you can use the data length. So hyphen hyphen data hyphen length length, and I want to add 4 bytes. So it should be 58 bytes, right? But if we put 4 more bytes, it should be 62. So enter, and very sorry, because I need to continue it again. Another thing is here, um, we should try hyphen pn. So let's see, anywhere hyphen pn space, enter, and stop this. Now if you see, wherever you send the sync packet, the length is 62. You see this? What we see today, the techniques for the firewall evasion. There are more advanced techniques are there these days. Another very important thing I want to suggest to you, that if you think there could be a firewall, or with the firewall detection technique, if you detect that there is a firewall placed between you and the target, so scan as less ports as you can. Suppose you can scan only port number 22 in one time, then port number 80 in one time. You, in Nmap, with Nmap you can also use timing. So you can automate your scan uh, for sending the packets. So once it, suppose that once it's scan the port number 22, then it will wait for some time, and again it will scan port number 23, then wait for some time. So something like this. Fine. So but I think this is enough for this video, and my purpose is to just give you the idea that how firewall works, or how you can work with nmaps once when you dealing with the firewalls. And thank you very much for the support. Please like, subscribe, and share as much as you can if you find this content valuable. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye.